Hello, welcome back to the second part of my artist spotlight with Frank Miller. So why do we have this book here? As I mentioned in the previous video, it is hard to talk about Frank Miller without mentioning Claus Jensen. So the focus of the second part on Frank Miller has more to do with Claus Jensen. I have mentioned in the past that I believe a good inker should be able to enhance the penciling. Sometimes it's by adding a little bit of something, sometimes by take away a little bit of something, or sometimes just go over exactly what the penciler intent was. The bottom line is, I think it's an art, a craft that great inkers or good inkers are able to do, because they have that special touch that can enhance the picture. As far as Claus Jensen, the problem I had with Claus Jensen is I felt that his inking style often overwhelmed the penciler. He exerted his style over the penciler so much that it looked like his own work. It's almost indistinguishable to look at a book that's inked by Claus Jensen, regardless who the penciler is. Let me give you an example. So right here we have Deathlock 31, great cover. This series is mostly drawn by Rick Buckler. Okay, so this is one of my favorite cover of the series. And this, starting from issue 31 through 36, I believe, Claus Jensen was the inker. Okay, and right away you can recognize his style. I have to say that, to me, Claus Jensen, the way he used the brush, somewhat heavy-handed, and it's not, it doesn't have the same feathering effect that, say, somebody like Tom Palmer, if he used the same tool. But when Claus Jensen ink, let's just take a look at this. You see that? In my opinion, okay, from just my own observation, I felt that Claus tend to leave out a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm not saying that he not like Vince Colletta would leave out a lot of stuff, as far as when Vince was penciling, inking Jack Kirby's work. But just look at the inking job here. I'm not a big fan of this type of inking. Okay, it's too rough for me. Perhaps some people will like it, and I would love to hear the opinions of people that love Claus Jensen. But as you can see, it left a lot to be desired. Okay, just take a look at that. I can go every page, every panel. I find that it just didn't have the finesse that I was looking for. Everything is very rough looking, but that's a very good example of what Claus Jensen ink over other people penciling. Now, real quickly, I brought out number 25, which is the first time Deathlock up here. This is my copy. Okay, beautiful copy, as you can see. Let's go real quick inside to see Rick Buckler work when it's inked by somebody else. Let's take a look real quick. Okay, let's look at that. There's no way Claus Jensen would have left so much details right here. Okay, it's night and day. If you're looking at, just look at this. This is really nice. Just look at this. Okay, it's very sharp. Let's see who's even this picture over here. Just look at that. The amount of details and the right amount of shading. It's very well done. Okay, take a look at that. And the inker for this was, it doesn't look like Rick Buckler did everything himself based on the credit that's given here. Now, you know, if you go back and forth between these two books, no doubt, I think most people would agree, I think, that the inking on this book here is much better than this one. And so that's, you know, just a crude example of what I don't like about Klaus Jensen's style of inking, because, as I said already, he exerts his influences over the penciler too much that it make it almost indistinguishable. Here's another example. Let's take a look. This is a Battlestar Galactica issue. Okay, once again, I find that the inking is fairly crude. How many people can guess who the penciler is? I think for the keen-eyed person, even if they're not familiar with this book, probably can guess who the penciler is. But as you can see, it's not a lot of details, okay? It's almost hard to figure out who the penciler is, but it is Walt Simonson. So this is a Walt Simonson book that was pencil, and then it was inked by Klaus Jensen. Look at that. Let's look at this. Okay, so last but not least, as far as example, I brought out this one. Here's another issue of Battlestar Galactica with Klaus Jensen is the inker. Okay, from looking at pictures like this, you know, if you go and compare this with many of the Frank Miller Daredevil book in 82, 83 that Klaus Jensen was inking, it's almost indistinguishable as far as figured out who the penciler was or who the inker was. You just assume that what you saw on the page of, say, Daredevil 180 is the way Frank Miller drew. You know, I tend to think that it has more to do with the way Klaus Jensen inked. Surely both of them evolve over the years, and I'd be the first to say that I really like how both Frank Miller and Klaus Jensen change over the year, and the evolution of their work. That corroboration is something that I probably talk more in the third part of this series. Okay, we're back at looking at this penciling from Frank Miller. I have shown this before in the previous video. Beautiful work, as you can see. I loved this penciling. I mean, I greatly appreciate the availability of this original art online. As you can see, beautiful work, beautiful muscle tone by Frank Miller. Okay, this time, since this video is on Klaus Jensen, now I can show you the end result. It's hard to show this video panning out this far away, but here you are. Here you have, let's take a look at the very first panel. as you can see, the way Klaus Janson ink, he left a lot out. Okay, a lot. Just look at the amount of detail that is on the final inking panel here compared to what was done here. Okay, the way Frank Miller drew, there's a lot of tension in the muscle and the muscle tone, but that's gone. Even here, just take a look at this. Take a look at this drawing here. There's a significant change here. Look at the chin, the mouth, and then the neck. Okay, Klaus altered it. Even the tension on the temple and the cheekbone is very different. I can go from panel to panels, and you will see there are a lot of differences in what he laid out. As far as Frank Miller, what he drew, take a look at this one. Beautiful muscle tone here on the back. A lot less here, okay? A lot less. Same thing here. Let's look at this. So you can go up further. And the last panel. Let's take a look at the last panel again. Okay. Let's look at all the details on the legs and arms and chest. There you go. Okay, so there you go. That's my biggest gripes with Klaus Janson, because I felt that he exerted his style over the penciler too much, and alter the true intent or the intent of what the penciler wanted to convey in a drawing. I'm sure I might be the minority, because I know a lot of people love the Frank Miller Klaus Janson run of Daredevil. Okay, so this is just my opinion. In the next part of the video, I probably will talk more about the evolution of both of them, which I enjoy, because I can say for sure that as much as I didn't care for the Klaus Janson that I see here, I definitely enjoy his evolution and the way he inked in the later years. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Until the next video.